Hey there guys, CrossFlux here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team. In the last episode, we scaled Mount Thunder in hopes of finding Shiftry, who was kidnapped by Zapdos. And in today's episode, we're going to continue our ascent as we take down the peak itself. So, Mount Thunder is kind of the first dungeon that does this sort of thing, where it's kind of split into two different sections. The peak area is only 2 floors long, so you know, it's not like an entirely different dungeon, especially since the Pokemon that you can find here are pretty much the strongest versions of the Pokemon that you can find at the base of the mountain. So it's not too bad. I mean, obviously if you didn't have too much trouble with Mount Thunder itself, the peak's not going to pose much of an issue either. But since I had a lot of trouble with Mount Thunder itself, the peak is going to be rather tough for me too. The items that you can find here are a bit different than in Mount Thunder itself, and that's because it's to kind of give you one final way of preparing for, spoiler alert, a boss fight at the very top of the mountain. So you're going to find a lot of orange berries, max elixirs, and blast seeds, stuff like that, so that you have some firepower and some items to make use of in that boss fight. But by far the most common item you can find in the peak are gummies. They're probably more common here than in any other dungeon that I can think of, at least at this point in the game. And the most common of the varieties that you can find are yellow gummies. So I'm definitely going to be giving this to Tesla once we get out of the mountain. Let's see, how many blast seeds do I have already? I don't know, I already have 4. I think that'll be plenty, because I may not even have too many chances to make use of them after all. Alright, so let's see. Oh yeah, duh, I already found the stairs. But I'm going to scour this floor as thoroughly as I can in hopes of finding as many gummies as I can, because I'm a gummy fanatic. I actually am in real life. If you want to know how to get me to do something, you give me a bag of gummy bears. I'll do anything for a bag of gummy bears. But enough about me. More on this dungeon. Since I'm pretty much already halfway done with the dungeon, I don't think I'm really going to do any speed ups for this part of the game. Mostly because it might be interesting to see how long I can go for talking in terms of finding stuff to talk about in this dungeon. And another reason is, again, it's just a little bit more trouble for me having to speed up and find another song to play here when it's not a very long dungeon in itself. Alright, so let's see. The main Ectric are on both floors of this dungeon, so I still have Tesla set to not using his Thunder Shock attack, since it would be completely pointless here. Let's see. Pokey here might be more of a hindrance coming up, just because he's such a low level that he can probably get one-shotted by just about anything in this area. So I may have to change his tactics to go the other way, so that he doesn't get in the way. But we'll come to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, I suppose. I went ahead and picked a fight with the Selectabuzz because I'm trying to get as much experience as I can before I head up, because, like I mentioned, it's going to be a very tough fight. Definitely going to want to bring your A game. So, despite how tough Mount Thunder is itself, you're going to want to make sure that you don't use up all your orange berries and reviver seeds on the scale up here, because you're going to want as many as you possibly can for the fight itself. Oh no, Lizzie, you're having some issues, aren't you? Alright, I gotta throw... Darn, it's my... I don't know, it's my last berry. Can you do it on your own, Lizzie? Please. Just spam techniques. Alright, I gotta give it to you, because I can't risk you eating the reviver seed. I can get by without an orange berry if I'm lucky, but I definitely won't be able to do the boss without a reviver seed. Alright. So, I may have a bit of trouble here. Another thing I should mention is that little checkpoint area with the Kangaskhan statue. If for whatever reason you fail in the dungeon or in the boss fight, you'll kind of get respawned there instead of back at your base, which kind of sucks. I mean, it could save you some time, but at the same time, if you used up all your berries and reviver seeds, then you're kind of walking in blind, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. I recommend that if you fail this dungeon and you've used too many items, then just go ahead and return home and try again from the start. But I decided not to go through that second floor entirely because I didn't want to risk using up any more items. I warned you. I have no mercy for meddlers. Not scared. You don't frighten me. Hey, Zapdos, release Shiftry. We're a Pokemon rescue team. You must be determined to utter such words. Then you shall answer. To my great and righteous fury. Alright, Zapdos. This thing is a real nightmare if you are a grass or water type. And I'm a water type, so it's a real nightmare for me. I recommend having the rest of your party get in its face and have you stay in the back line so that you can throw rocks or blast seeds from a distance. Let's see. I might need to configure some moves here real quick. I'm going to have Tesla go up front if I can and have him use Supersonic, because if I get Zapdos confused, that'll buy me a few turns. And if I can slow it down with Poke String Shot, that'll definitely be another upside. Alright, have Lizzie kind of tank that. Hey Zapdos, come over here. There you go. Alright. Add a finagle Tesla into position there. Because for some reason, in boss fights, the go after foes tactic doesn't seem to really work too much. Alright. Oh wow, I didn't know that could actually happen. Did you guys see that? Now that Zapdos is confused, it normally has the agility move, which makes it get multiple turns in a row. However, apparently if it's confused, it can accidentally use it on us, giving us multiple turns instead. Wow, that's really great, actually. Elnet recovered from confusion. Tesla's paralyzed now, meaning he can't confuse it in return. I think I'm just gonna wait it out. If Lizzie gets too low, I'm gonna have to have her back off and have Tesla do it all by himself, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to survive another attack like that. Alright, let's see. Throw one more blast seed, and then I'm just gonna start chucking rocks and hope that I've dealt enough damage. Come on, Tesla, hang in there. Alright. My goodness, that was tough. I had no more Reviver Seeds or Oran Berries left. But if you believe hard enough, you can do it. Not really. If you plan well enough and get a little bit of lucky, you'll be fine. What's going on? Ugh. You want more? I'll take you on. Enough. That's enough fighting. I've calmed down. Take Shiftry back. You kids, you've impressed me. But things won't be easy next time. I'll go all out, so you'd best be prepared. Until then, you better hone your skills. So, why was Zapdos all angry about us coming into his territory, yet he challenged us to come to his mountain, and yet he held back in the fight? So, yeah, Zapdos is kind of a boss for boss purposes, but his motivations didn't really make too much sense to me. But regardless, after taking him down, he gives Shiftry back just as promised. Driving off that Zapdos. I agree. You're awfully strong for a plain mudkip. I sensed it when we first met. Perhaps you aren't a Pokemon, are you? Wow, how can you tell that? But you're right, Skipper isn't a Pokemon. He's a human. What? A human? Is that possible? Can something like that happen? The Skipper doesn't understand very much either. He woke up one morning here as a Pokemon. Hey, Lizzie, I appreciate your help and all that, but you don't have to do all my talking for me. Oh wait, Lombre said something in the square. He said Alakazam knows everything. Could you figure out why Skipper became a Pokemon? No. I can't determine that. Ow. Well, I thought you'd know. However, there is a way for unveiling the truth. Really? How? Make way to the Hill of the Ancients. There you'll find a Pokemon that stares into the sun all day. A Pokemon who is said to see into the future. Xatu is his name. He should shed some light on your puzzling friend. Alright, we should go see Xatu. Let's go. We can't waste any time. Shiftry, you too. Let's hurry back. Yeah, I guess we should. Skipper, don't just stand there. Let's go. Alakazam, I know you. I don't think you're completely ignorant about this. You know something, don't you? There is something that concerns me, but it should go unspoken for now. For plot convenience. Alright, quite a stressful day, I would imagine, for the guys. Taking down a legendary Pokemon. I hardly believe we actually did it on our first try. Good morning, Skipper. Yesterday I did some checking around. It turns out that the Hill of the Ancients is apparently in the Great Canyon. We should go there right away. What's the matter? Listen, Lizzie. Why do you try so hard? What you need to ask? It's for someone else. Come on, what do you think I am? We're friends, aren't we, Skipper? I want to do my best because it's for you. That's what this is about. So as always, let's try our best. Lizzie's such a good friend. Alright guys, but since Mount Thunder took quite a number on us, I think I'm going to cap off this video by talking with some of the townsfolk and then doing one of the Makuhita Dojo mazes. Yeah, it seems Dugtrio's gone. Papa said they've gone to sea before. Does that mean Papa can swim? Skipper, can you swim? Well, I am a water type. Oh, so you can swim too. Okay, I'm gonna try hard to swim. Actually, you probably don't want to do that. Something tells me ground types should not mix very well with water. Alright, surely Wishcash has something important to say now. Seeing children at play is what I most enjoy now. Apparently not. Yay, Metapod, what'll we do next?
Let's play battle.
Okay, I use String Shot.
Then I'll use Harden.
Ah, crazy kids at play. Kids will be kids, right? Skipper, your team's fantastic. It's shocking to hear that you've beaten Zapdos. That was my joke to make Jumpluff. How dare you steal that from me? Xatu? I wouldn't know. There's really a Pokemon named that?
I must say I'm very impressed. Your team is surprisingly courageous. It casts you in a new light.
Alright. Well, before I take on the Makuhita Dojo real quick, I'm going to cut to prepare my inventory and grab my team members. Alright guys, I'm back, and as I mentioned, we're gonna take on one of the dojo missions. Which one should we do today? Well, since we're already used to fighting electric types, let's say we get the electric maze out the way. So, without further ado, alrighty then, let's see what the boss has in store for us today. So, 2 Voltorbs are really not a threat at all. The 2 Electrics are going to be the major threats here. They're just as strong as the Electrics that you can find on Mount Thunder, so since we've already gotten through there without too much of an issue, this boss fight here shouldn't be very bad at all. But yeah, as you guys can kind of see here, as I mentioned before, for some reason the go after foes tactic does not seem to work in boss fights for your team members. Just for whatever reason, they just don't seem to want to advance on them. Even though that would be really, really helpful. But it's not like it's a really big deal here. Alright, one more attack ought to do it. Oh. One more attack ought to do it. There we go. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it off here, and we'll pick up where we left off next time. Thanks so much, and as usual, have a blessed day. See you guys then.